Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Good Doc Talk Stocks. I am your host, the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. And I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the more beautiful things that I've learned as my experience as an investor in reference to dividend stocks. And one of my most important and favorite things about your average dividend stock. But before I get into it, guys, make sure you get the likes up, make sure you subscribe. I would highly appreciate that one. I'm trying to do a little bit more creativity in the content as opposed to just sharing thoughts. I want to have a more philosophical conversation about stocks, and I want you guys to know that I do take this very, very seriously. Okay? So one of the things that I can honestly say that I love about dividend stocks, it's not really a secret. Everybody wants to believe that the best thing about dividend stocks is, well, of course, the fact that they pay you dividends, quarterly, monthly, etc. But one of the beautiful things that I'm learning about dividend stocks is the simple fact that a dividend stock very rarely changes prices over years or over time. For example, with a growth stock, if it has potential to blow up, it's going to blow up, it's going to skyrocket, it's going to shoot through the roof. And again, based on the economy, the way things are going, that will determine how people respond to said stock prices, said commodities, said consumerism, whatever it may be, whatever that particular company is selling or the product that they have, that is going to affect the way that people respond in the stock market. But with your good old trusty dividend stocks, even if you allow your stock to, or hopefully, prayerfully, you get involved in a stock that has potential for growth and it skyrockets and shoots through the roof, your good old dividend stock is going to close to about to remain the same in price, stock price, over an extended period of time. Now, why is that important? Well, for myself, like I said in a video before, I struggled with the idea of downsizing my investments, okay? So the way that this benefits me is that if I am blessed enough to involve myself in a growth stock that does pretty well, I can downsize the investment that I have in that growth stock and put it in to a dividend stock, and I'm good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Think of it like this. I want to use Coca-Cola as an example. Somewhere on the screen, you're going to see the stock price of Coca-Cola throughout throughout the year of 2010. Okay? So I want to focus on the stock price of Coca-Cola throughout the year of 2010. As I'm looking at it right now on my phone, and this should be somewhere on the screen right now, the average price was in and around 53 to roughly 54. I'm seeing a high of about 54, 55, and a low of about 53-ish. So in a span of about a year or so, according to this particular website, I'm looking at the marketfinancialcontent.com, the share price has very rarely changed. Fluctuated maybe a couple of dollars or so, but relatively stayed the same. If we look at what Coke topped out at in the year of 2020, I believe it was roughly about 60 bucks. So can you imagine, in a span of 10 years, from 2010 to 2020, the actual price of stock has changed for Coca-Cola more specifically, because of course we like to use Coke as the gold standard for dividend investment. I don't know why, but Coke is just that brand that we all recognize. Over a period of time of 10 years, the price has changed roughly no more than about $10. So can you imagine if you invest yourself into a dividend or a growth stock, put it in, give it time to grow, 5 years, 10 years, like my mentor and everybody has, encouraged me to do. Imagine allowing that stock to grow for a significant amount of time. 10 years down the line, I'm still looking to get into Coke. Maybe Coke is still trading under $100. So I can take this hopefully potential massive of fortune that I've built for myself in this growth stock that I'm invested in, and now I can trade those shares or earnings and put them into my dividend stock so I can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Everybody knows that having growth stocks in your portfolio is important. I believe that your portfolio should exist more of dividend stocks than growth stocks. I think that a healthy proportion only if you ask me. Other people may have another way of thinking about it, but I think that the healthier portfolio, in my opinion, is less than about a third or so of the stocks in your portfolio should be about growth stocks, and hopefully roughly in and around 2/3 of the portfolio should be about dividend stocks. Now again, that could fluctuate based on, stocks that you really believe in, things that you believe have the potential to blow up. But as we say, the stock market is a long game, man. This isn't something that's just going to trade overnight. This is something that you actually have to take into consideration and actually be able to understand. And that is just something that me, myself, as a beginner in this game, I'm learning and understanding it. I kind of feel like me sharing in my thoughts and investing and things of that nature and bringing it to the channel and talking to you guys about it, it gives me a chance to grow as an investor, and I want you guys to potentially see the growth as I'm going through it. This is something that I do take very seriously. I mean, you better, because you're putting up your hard-earned money to actually invest in something. So I think it's something that we should all take seriously, but this is real, and I want everybody who is ever interested in investing to give it a chance. I mean, with platforms like M1, which I personally use, with platforms like Robinhood and platforms like Stash and other platforms that allow us to do commission-free trading, your investment in the stock doesn't have to be much. I am so blessed to be able to invest in fractional shares. I talk to my mentor about this all the time. My mentor tells me, look, man, even if you can't afford a full share of a stock, at least if you want to get into it, fractional shares work just as good. So example, if you want to invest in your Googles, aka the alphabet, if you want to invest in Amazon, aka AMZ stock ticker, if you want to invest in all these other things that may be higher in price, you don't necessarily have to buy the entire share. I'm the person, I would like to buy the entire share, but if I can't, I don't mind throwing in a couple of $100 into a certain stock that I believe has potential to grow. Because as my mentor tells me, as long as that stock grows, your growth is going to come with it. You're going to earn as long as that company is earning. So it may not be as much as anybody who holds full shares, but again, a gain is a gain, and any gain is a blessing, especially in the stock market that we're working with right now. So I kind of enjoy the idea of dividend stocks and growth stocks, wherein I can utilize a growth stock for 5 to 10 years, and I can hold on to my dividend shares, and I don't have to worry about the dividend stock dramatically changing in price like my growth stock would. And hopefully whenever 5-10 years down the line, when I decide to make the decision, well, you know what, I think I'm ready to downsize my investment in a said stock, I want to go ahead and throw this one into my dividend. By the time I throw it into my dividend, the growth stock over the 5 years and the dividend stock, you can see a definite difference in the growth of said stock. Because again, I like to consider Coke to be old and trusty. Coke don't change very much in price. I think companies like IBM, I do have to do a little bit more research on that, but like your IBMs, your McDonald's, I mean, they have all potential to change in price, but for the most part, the price change is relatively subtle. It's not enough to where 1 year or in the span of 5 years that thing has gained $1,000 or gained $500 or gained $200 or something like that. And even if it did, if you are able to have a successful growth stock, it wouldn't matter, because when you downsize your investment in said growth stock, all you're doing is putting it into your dividend stock in order to make it happen for yourself. Just let it coast, and that's the beautiful thing about life as a dividend and growth, investor. And I'm learning, people, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy and join me on this journey. I am definitely truly blessed to be able to have a mentor, number one, blessed to have people I can bounce ideas off of, and be able to share in things that I believe would make the content of this channel grow. So if there's any topics of conversation you guys would want to hear me talk about, because I am taking a more professional approach to my videos, prior to my videos like this when I used to just talk my ish, push it and keep it moving. But I want to also take a more an invested approach in my research and an invested approach in a way that I choose to look at stocks and bonds and stuff like that, or stocks and based on dividend and growth. Okay, and I want you guys to be able to be a part of the journey. So if you're not already subscribed, I need you to do me one favor: likes up, subscribe to the channel, share this with a friend, Let me hear your ideas on what you believe is the most important part about dividend stocks. I think it is very important to be able to share with one another what you guys like the most about dividend stocks. As I said, for myself, I enjoy dividend stocks because even if I invest in a growth stock, your dividend stocks very rarely change in price over time. So whenever you're ready to downsize your position in a growth stock that hopefully has made you a nice little chunk of change and you're ready to shift it into your dividend stock, basically the dividend stock didn't grow the same as your growth stock, so you're able to afford a decent amount of shares as a result of what you put into your growth stock and taken out of your growth stock. Okay, this has been the Good Doc Talk Stocks, your boy Dr. Mike TV, and with that, I'm officially out. Take care. God bless. Peace.